G'day, how you going? Ian Apples here, your acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my free gift to you, where I want to show you what you can paint in acrylic. The size of my canvas and the colours I'm using will be in the description box below all the links. This is another sort of a beach, dune, seascape sort of thing, and it's going to have some real values, real bullshit you can put into your paintings, okay? Something a bit more than wow. All right, so get on over here and let's get right into it. Got a horizon line here, okay, and I've got some posts in the dunes casting shadows and depth, and there's going to be shadows and depth in this water, and there's going to be realism in this sky to try and get this sky look like it's coming over your head like that, instead of just looking like a flat curtain, because I do know in our art journey we can make things look a bit flat at the back of the painting. I'm here to show you you can do more than that. All right, now I've got my craft paint and retarder down here. I normally mix this up. I've got to stop calling it craft paint. Soft body titanium white, and this is to get me skies looking realistic with this putter on a brush. I call it a putter on a brush. If you want to buy this brush and the blending brushes I use, simply message me on Facebook. Scott Cinnamon, you can see he's a silver member of my YouTube channel here. Good to see you here, Scott. Scott Cinnamon, what have you been up to, mate? All right, I'm going to start with the sky. So I want to just get the sky crisscrossed in a lark. So now I'm using acrylic paint. I only use acrylic. You might have noticed I'm coming on live a bit. That's because I'm not working full time on the roof anymore. I'm trying to get into this a bit more when my health lets me. But yeah, so fingers crossed. Now I'm going to stroke that left and right like a pure gentleman. All right, just like that. So it's a nice, thin, even film. Now I'm going to wipe this brush because it's full of all that white paint and I don't want too much of that in there. I don't have to wash it because I've already got white onto the canvas. My realistic blue colour I go to, everyone's got different colours I suppose, but my one is cerulean. You can get realistic colours out of other colours, but that's just one of my go-tos. And a bit of grey. Just mid-tone grey out of the tube, and a teeny weeny bit of magenta, quinacridone magenta to be exact. So we got some of that. Oh, I don't need that much, Ian. Goodness me, what's wrong with you? Suck it back up. Oh, well, try and save every little drop, forget it. Especially when you're live. All right, I'll pick up the cerulean blue and get my sky colour in first. I want it to be as real as I can. G'day, my one and only guru. Good to see you here, Jerry. Jerry's a veteran of mine. She's been following me from day dot. Good to see you here. Good to see people that's followed me for so many years to be here. Okay, back to editing. All right, so we've got our cerulean blue. I'm going to start at the top, push it on. Now I want to come down to the bottom of the sky, and I want it to become paler as it gets down to the horizon. For the simple reason, when it's pale at the bottom and darker at the top, it creates that sphere shape illusion that you're in the sphere and you've got atmosphere there. Now we're going to create our polluted horizon line right above the top of that ocean water there, and I'll show you how we do that. I'll wipe that brush. And I want to pick up the grey, but I need a little bit of this magenta in it. Not too much, because that magenta, when it dries, goodness me, it can be very dark and hazardous to your painting. All right, so here we go. So my horizon line is about here. I'm going to mark it there. So I want this right here. It's a little bit on the dark side, but it'll do. And I want to just gradually get that up and let it gradiate into that blue without a hard line there. You want it very soft. Very soft. Massage it, play with it. Now I'm looking... That's okay, that's looking good. When it dries, it's going to be a beautiful painting. Okay, we've got a beautiful sky. Now what your beautiful sky needs This is some titanium white. I'll just grab my tube of titanium white off my rack. I'll get a bit of titanium white going down here. Titanium white. And I'll get a fan brush. I like doing my clouds with a hog bristle fan brush. Now look, you chisel it on your fan brush, you've done all that into your sky. You can have your sky simple and blue as you start off, but when you get more ballsy and you're getting more seasoned, start adding the realistic colours if they're not too intimidating for you. But if they are, just stick to the basics for now. Now grab this paint out of the tube, just the white. And I might put just a row of clouds about here, all the way across the bottom. Something a bit big there. I'm creating the top, bit of stuff there, and coming along all the way along the bottom there. Now I want to show you exactly what I've done here, just so you get the gist of what I'm doing. That's the shape of my cloud there. That's the top half is the shape of my cloud. I'm deliberately creating the cloud that I want. And I've put some bit of white bits here with the gap in between. Why you need those gaps is when you blend, it just creates the charisma, the realism, the depth, the dimension of your clouds. I'm just talking for a minute because I just forgot my kitchen towel as well. I've got a kitchen towel. So grab a kitchen towel and your blending brush. Now watch what I do here. This is where you can create bullshit in your painting. This is the blending brushes I use here. Now I get the corner of it and I create the top of that cloud. I'm barely touching that, barely touching it, okay? I'm barely touching it, but you can just see just what went on the brush. Look at that. So I've got to wipe that off with my kitchen chucks towel. And then I come down here and start adding turmoil, lifting up, bringing the paint from here and down here, pulling it. That's what's happening in my mind. And those gaps that I talked about here and over there, you will see when I bring it down, it's created dark and brighter areas within that cloud body. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it very slow motion to show you in this tutorial because it is a tutorial and I want to teach you what to do. I don't want to just go for it, otherwise I can just go for it and I'll be done already. And I'm gradually bringing this down. Look, stop and analyse your work. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean there because there's a piece here that I need to analyse and I want to explain it to you. See how that's a thick band, but nothing's quite happening here? We've got to start pulling this bullshit down here and bringing it down here and adding more volume to our cloud. And I've analysed it. I want to bring this down a little bit more, just like so. And you can see, hang on a minute, it's still a bit all along here, that thicker white. So I want to try and pull it down a little bit more. Just like that, without destroying all the dull and brighter bits. Now I've got a pointy trowel here just to get the hair off there. All brushes shed hair, whether they're expensive or cheap ones, it doesn't matter, they're all going to shed hair. Okay, I'm looking at that. That's okay, that is fine. Now you want to grab a different brush, get the same white. These are in the horizon line there, so I want to just add, I need some more white on the palette. I want to keep a bit of the dull bit there and just put something in front now, just a little bit dancing in the middle of the painting here. And just wear away there, that'll do. All right, a lot of paint on that brush. Now I'm going to just, let me get rid of that. See, it's got a flick there. I don't like that. I want that kind of filberty looking. And I'll use my finger because this is a small cloud. And I want to bring that right down the horizon now. Wipe the brush. Wipe your finger if you're using your finger, but if you've got a smaller blending brush, you could use it. I'm just using my finger because I'm painting live and I want to get it done and I don't want to muck around. I want this all the way into that grey, magenta-y colour there. It's just picking up distance. Now that line's a little bit too straight. We can distort that a bit. There we go. It's that simple. See, when you analyse stuff. Now you can do this, it just takes practice. I hear people say, you make that look easy. It's because I've done a lot of practice. There's me clouds. Simple, effective clouds. And just like I said earlier, to get that looking like it's coming over your head, you want to grab some more white paint on your, and just do something over a head. Now I got this idea from the internet. I just saw some dunes and a sky, but this sky is my own sky. I want to create, I don't know, something V-shaping out there. There we go, and then something here maybe, just V-shaping out, swirling your brush, that'll do, and a bit of a cirrus there, that'll do. Look at that, it already looks like it's coming over your head, doesn't it? Look out, duck, you'll get knocked down by me clouds. Now, simply blend these, but if anything, you're blending the tops, if anything, away, not the bottoms. Leaving the bottoms there, leaving those dull and brighter pieces there, and blending the tops right up to buggery. Wipe your brush, it's important to keep wiping your brush. I've seen people's paintings and they're fantastic. I can see even in some of them where I can tell they haven't wiped their brush enough, but it's just all practice. That's why we got to practice. Same here. I want to get this, standing on my tippy toes at the moment because I'm not that tall. I try and make myself look tall in my post photos and videos, but I'm not that tall really. Okay, let me have a look at that. Paddy Miner, we've got another YouTube member here, good to see you. Now this just little gap filler here, I'm just going to make that look like a cirrus cloud, which it has no dark edge at the top or bottom, it's just like cotton floating in the sky. And with a bit of luck, we kind of got, in the middle of the day, clouds coming over your head. We've got real clouds, we put effort into them, we deliberately made them that shape. I'm just exploding that out the end there because I don't like my clouds just ending for some reason. It's just my thing. All right, that can be dried so as I can map in the horizon line. Okay, that's dry. Now we'll do our water bit. So we've only got a little bit of water there. I'm going to use a smaller flat brush for that. So I'll grab something I can make some turquoise ocean water with. Now I'm just going to get some low-tack tape and I want that about there, so that's where I want that. Chewbacca, there we go, too easy. Now I want to grab this craft white, where are we? And map this in, but I don't want this white hitting against the tape. You do that, you'll get a white line, ridge line against your horizon when you take your tape off. Now I'm going to just map in me water where I want it. So I don't need this where I want to paint me sand dunes, otherwise it'll dig in. Now like I said, you don't want to bring this up to on the tape, you want to bring it to the tape. So we'll get it to the tape there, just, I'll show you, look. Just there like that. Now stroke it left and right the way you want to brush your water. I want to brush my water that way. Nice small canvas here. It's pretty much a 8 by 12 inch canvas. Now I'm going to dry the, not dry, I'm going to wipe that brush because it's the same brush I'm going to mix the water in. Wilma Vroom, g'day Wilma Vroom. We got Wilma Vroom in here, another YouTube member of mine. Good to see you. Now I'm going to mix up the watercolour while I say hello to my YouTube member Wilma Vroom. People like that get left in the edited version. Okay, so yeah, good to see her, Scott Cinnamon. And there was another one there, Paddy Miner. And Paddy Miner is saying, I did your trick of not putting the white all up the way to the tip. It worked, no line, thank you very much. Good on you, good on you. Okay, now we're going to pick up, see this is kind of translucent, this phthalo turquoise I got. That's why I've got the white down there as well. And the white helps this become more water-like. Look at these brushes, they're loose as buggery. Now I'll get this right against the tape. It's the turquoise against the tape, not the white. If I see, I can still got a possibility of pushing white there, so I've got to be careful. And now I just want to do the whole water, just that water area. This is a simple, you can add so many more elements to this to make it real, but I'm just going to keep it straight to the point and simple. Now I'm getting the water stroked left and right, just like that. I'll try and get it a bit darker out there if I can, but not really, it's not going to work. There we go. And now I want to do just a little bit of mixing, just to give it a, you can leave it like that if you want, but you want to go that extra journey. That's why I've got the dioxazine purple here. Grab a bit of dioxazine purple. Oh no, it wasn't dioxazine purple, it was going to be the red. I've got the red here. I want to make it a bit darker. I want to get a darker value of that. But the white mixing with it is not helping it much, but we'll get there. It's just a darker value you can see. Let's see if a bit of dioxazine will help. I've got it there now. Oh no, see what the dioxazine did? It's all right, I'll get some more red in it. So just do the red, add the red into it. So you've got a darker value of that, which is good. Now, all you want to do with this is stamp. Okay, we've got 45 people there. Good on yous. Now, I'm going to create waving type of scalloping from about here. Why I'm stamping it on is that water is wet, wet on wet, so we're going to try and scallop bits and bobs like this. Because if you look at photos of the ocean with the turquoise water, they have a lot of these dark values in it. Now what I'm going to do, it's a bit wet to continue, so what I'm going to do is use this brush and waterfy that, just softly like that. Okay, now pick up some more. I want it more, because there's more reef closer to the shoreline, so that's depicting the shadow of the reef and whatnot. Wipe the brush again and just waterfy that and the magic happens. Keep it straight. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let me have a look in the monitor. Oh, it looks dark in the monitor. It looks better in real life, believe me. You'll see the photo when I transfer it to the thumbnail of this video. That's done. I'm going to give it a little dry, just a little bit. I've given it a little dry, and we'll take the tape off there. So let's see if we did not get a white line across our horizon there. Oh, and see how this non-tacking tape is coming off? It's just dropping off. It's saying, yes, sir. All right, I'll get rid of that. We don't have a white ridged line out there, which is quite good. Now what I want to do is simply grab some of my white paint, and I'm going to use, yeah, this one here. It's a sharp, chiseled flat brush. What I mean by that, it's nice and sharp along the edge there. I've dried the paint a little bit, just so I can get a distant wave just breaking out there. Now, I'll use my bullshit stick to get a straight line, just so as I can get something reasonably level, and I want it way out there. So there's my horizon line. I'm resting on my bullshit stick. Some of you have a stick like this, some of you don't. You can just make one. It's a square. You can even buy a square from the art shop. Now I'm making this a bit fat and jingly jangly here, like so. Now I want some little bits coming down, just here and there. You can do this, look. There we go, where's my white paint? I don't want to move the stick. And now we just want to get this a bit paler and just distancing out there. See how this stick makes it level? And we've just got a simple wave breaking out there. If you really want to be cocky, you can grab yourself a small brush another one the same but smaller. You can grab some of the dark colour that we had, if I can find some down here. Just got a little bit left, because under every wave you need a shadow. And you can probably try and stamp a little bit of this under there. Gingerly, take your time, it's worth it. Because believe it or not, every painting you do is going to outlive you. So it's good to put the quality into your work. Respect the arts, I say. And we have, if I have a look in my monitor, just that bit of darkness out there. See what it's done? Now this dune is coming down, so you won't see the water lapping, otherwise the perspective will be all out. And the darkness against the lights just make the difference. Look at that. Okay, too easy. Now I want to paint in the sand, so the best way to get some sand back down here onto the palette, we'll use, I'm just going to go for yellow oxide and a bit of dioxazine purple. I'm getting the sand colour that I want. Dioxazine's a bit warm, so you want the warm bits out of the water. And now I want to get white and have a very pale colour of that sand. So there's me sand, dark and light. What I normally like to do is paint the medium. This will be the medium. Paint the medium in and then add the dark and lights. Now I've got my water there. Hopefully I've mixed enough. I'm using just a flat brush. Now I'll first oh goodness me, I coulda, woulda, shoulda brought that down a bit. So that's got to come about there, and it's going to come up here like so. See why I dried the painting? Get that up there. Boom. I'm going to block it in. Where you got paint underneath, see like this bit of water paint, try not to be too aggressive there because you can rupture it and start pushing it in. I've got no retarder or anything in here, any mediums, it's just the paint itself. Now I'm just going to get it in the shape of the dunes there. There we go. Now I do want to lighten it up a bit more, so I'm just going to grab some of me white paint here. Shake before use, and I didn't even shake it. You got that colour there, put some white in it, a lot of white. Get some more in there, just so it's more lighter than what's on there. There we go. Because beach sand, well, I know in Australia it's more this colour. There we go. That other colour's working as a block in. Get it in there, get it in there, let it all happen. Get the edges just flicked in. And as we go, if we need to add some darker values, we simply can. Now I'm going to grab a bit more, where's that white? I'll do another pile next to that. I've just made a bit more whiter because I do want a lot more over here lighter. How's the colour looking on the camera? It looks different in the camera, probably because I'm live. Oh goodness me, look what I've just done there. Let's fix that up. got a dark ridge there. I want to get rid of that. A dark edge. I don't want a dark edge. There we go, too easy. And I'll get a bit more of the pale stuff now. Right in there, that'll do. That can tack up and dry. You'll get a jest, there's that, like that. Like, see that, that's can come right off the painting. That will just look a bit better instead of going down off the edge. Anything on the edge, if anything, have them coming in, not the opposite way. Now I want to get me, not me stumps, me post, but before I do that, I've got to get I want a bit of Duvalakis growing on the sand there. So I need my mongoose fan brush. So I'll grab some blue. You watch, I'll find that later on. And some of the magenta, just to get a dark shadowy colour. Dark purple. Is there a camera on that? Yes. Let me turn the light on and see if that does a difference. I've got to remember to turn that light off maybe. Now I want a dark purple. Just where I'm going to put my mongoose grass, I need the darkness there. Bit of water to make it spread a bit more and last a bit more. Now has that light affected the canvas? Just let me have a look. No, it hasn't. Now I just want little bits in here, so I'll just come off the painting and just start, because these are kind of behind, so I'll call it me mongoose grass. These are kind of behind the posts that are going to be there, the dune posts. We get these posts, we get dune paths in the dunes there. They make paths and post them off with a post, a fence post kind of thing. Now I did do something similar like this before, but this is a different layout, so come on, don't be hard on me. There we go. Now we'll drag a little bit of shadow from it, but you might not see it because the posts are there, but at least it'll be there, so whatever you do see is there. And then the same on this side here. Get a little bit of this. Just, oh, what I'll do is I'll do this one this way. This is just, just some long grass. See how I put my fan brush there and I'm getting weird curves, and you don't want that? Go to the edge bit of your brush. Watch what'll happen now. I can get them a bit more straighter in the way I want. See, then I've got to go to the other side. And we can try and taper some of this coming down the dune just in where people haven't walked, so it's got the opportunity to grow. And this is just the shadow of the grass that's going to sit there. Now I do got to darken that up a bit. It's very light there. Hey Reese, can you grab me a water, one of my waters? Grab us a water. Okay, so we've got one side standing up and one side lacing down. There we go. Now that can have a dry so we can colour it. I do want that just a little, it's looking a bit powdery blue there, so I'm just grabbing a bit more magenta. Bear with me a moment, this will be edited out. But open it for me. I want to get rid of that there. So, just get rid of that powdery blue colour. Is that ultramarine? There we go. So we'll get our French ultramarine over there. And we'll grab, I've got to buy more, I've got to write that down and get more. We've got our yellow oxide. The ultramarine, the yellow oxide and the magenta, they're your three primary colours. Stick with them and you'll get realistic colours. I'm going to just mix up, I'll keep that wet there. I'm just going to spray the palette a bit so I don't lose any colours that might be there. I want to grab some green. So I'll grab this. And the good thing about the yellow ochre, it's going to mix with the French ultramarine, and it's already going to give you that brown dead wood look in it as well, which is good. And you can also, which I will grab, is some, oh no, that's yellow oxide, you idiot. I nearly said the DH word. Where's my cadmium yellow medium? You can also grab some cadmium yellow medium, so when you want to brighten it up, you can turn the headlights on with that colour there, okay? So I want to get me green colour. Now it looks mustardy, okay? Let's put a little bit of that in, you'll see what I mean. There we go, we're getting a bit of green. It looks green onto me, I don't know if it's looking green on the camera there, but it's like a mustard green. Okay, that's the end of that knife's mission for the moment. All right, same brush, so I'll clean that, where did it go? I'll clean that mongoose fan brush and give him a wipe. I've dried that, didn't I? Yeah. Now I'll do the same again, putting this onto that grass. Okay. So you want to leave the dark there and get this sitting on, but go beyond the dark, but leave some of the dark there. A lot of this is going to be covered up by the fence post, but at least it's there. If it wasn't there, the painting will look a bit bare, so that's why I put it there, so it won't look bare, if you know what I mean. Geez, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. I'm rhyming everything now, goodness. And over here, simply do the same. Leaving darks. Sit it on top of the dark. See there? I'll show you again. And then just vein it in and out. Vein it in and out. Now when you're stamping, don't get carried away and just go willy-nilly. Please have respect for your art and do it with charisma, do it with justice. Because like I said, your art's going to outlive you, and when other people see it in generations to come, they're going to go, oh shit, look at the brush strokes in that art piece, would you? Okay, I mixed up a bit too much of that paint, but that's okay. There we go. It's looking a bit real, which is what we want. Now we're going to add more yellow into that. And a bit more blue. And we're going to get a bit more blue, a bit more yellow. And we're getting a different green, but it's more of a real green. Like a, what would you call it? See, there's not bright forest green out on the beach. Well, not here they are anyway. It's a bit like a olive green there. See the different green I just made? Now, if your paint's wet, have a cup of tea, get yourself a vanilla slice, let it dry, no rush, and then come back and put this colour on. So I want to get the tops. Oh, hang on. Oh, my foot's buggering up. Got to get that a bit white. I'm putting a little bit of white into it, just so we can see it. There we go. And I want the tops as sharp as buggery instead of blobby and thick. Coming down, leaving lots of the darkness there. Come right off your painting. This is just dead dune grass or whatever you want to call it. There we go. How's that side look? That's okay. Once we put the fence in there, it'll sort of sit it back and give it a bit of a sense of realism. Coming up here. Leaving the darks there again, just tiptoeing this over your work. Now, if you like what I'm doing, give me a comment. If you're watching a replay, give me a comment as well. Tell me where you're from, how you found my channel, how you stumbled across it. And tell me where you're from, and I could say hello back to you. There we go. We've got our bit of green with some depth in there. Now see, I'm just going to pick up I'm going to quickly, because I just had a look, I just analysed it. I'm just quickly getting that green off there, picking up some of that dark colour, just so as I can get some darkness back under here, because there's not enough underneath it. You want shadow under that. See how that light bit's got nothing under it? Get something back there. Just so as you can get a sense of it sitting down on the ground. Just going to pull it a little bit as well. That's just made it look a little bit more grounded, and I'm just seeing here it's probably a little bit too green there, so I'll just... That'll do. I don't have to muck with that no more, because I want to give that a dry and put our posts in. And I want to grab the yellow ochre now, which is that dark colour there. So where's that other flat brush? That other flat brush I used earlier, I'm going to use that again. And I want to use that to block in me post. So I want to use this colour here, because that's the treated pine colour. Our posts over here are like that colour. And I've got some burn umber down there ready to rock and roll as well. Now what I've got to do here is probably get one... Well, that brush is a little bit on the wide side. Let's see if I've got a narrower one. That's a little bit narrow. So I'll try that one. I've just grabbed not the same brush but narrow. So it's a different brush, but it looks the same. So it's same but different. Okay. Now I want at least the end of it, where it's framing it, I want the end of it about here. This one's behind the dune, okay? Boom. And he's probably just under the horizon line. Boom. And he'll be about that fat. So now I can join the dots. Come up there a bit. Get some more paint on your brush like you mean it. Get a bit of water in your paint so it's going to transfer. Now when I etched it out, I had the posts sort of overlapping each other, but I want some gaps in them so you can see distance down within. I'm just going to grab a little bit of white just to turn the lights on that a little bit. Now the next one I want about here, this low, so I want one about there, and I want one about here, that low. Now it's in the sand, so it's going to kind of be like that, and then it's going to come up. Now this one can go about that high, so I'll join that one up. Bring the width over, and then join that one up. See the difference where I put the white in this? You can see how it's kind of made it a bit more opaque, meaning it's more solid, dense colour. And I've got me water there, I'm neglecting me water. Sometimes you can get lost detailing a painting and you're covering it up with foreground material and you realise, well, something we do. I'm going to get this side of it a bit sharper. getting a bit more white. It's still not opaque enough. I want to try and keep me live to about an hour, so just for the sake of me battery life. What a 54 minutes, goodness me. Well, we're nearly finished. Getting there, getting there. See now, they look a bit weird. Grabbing some of the, what do you call it, burnt umber in that. Maybe I do need it in that, or maybe I have it on its own. Yeah, I think I'll have it on its own. So I'll mix this over here, get a darker colour of the burnt umber. And I just want to get the base of them a little bit dark. Is that the right colour? That'll do. Now I could have, would have, should have dried it. Where it's hitting the sand, I want it kind of dark and then just filtering up from about there. I can have probably a shadow on this outside edge. Bit on this one. And the same over here. They're going to need another layer of darkness on them. I'm going to get just the outside dark. Just trying to make, not in this side dry as well as the other side. Just trying to get it all scratchy, timber-like. Getting there, wipe that, grab some black. Where's my black? Bear with me a minute, I'll pull you over here in a minute. Which brush was that? Is that one? Oh, that was a horrible noise. Now I want to get a bit of that black with the burnt umber. Just so it's not pure black. And I want, dry your brush. Very minimal here because it'll stand out like dogs' binoculars. If you know what I mean. And we just want bits of dark bits within our stump there. And it's going to make it look a bit more kind of real, not going for realism, but we're slowly adding that vibe into our art pieces. So as you develop and you're really going places, you know, you're evolving into this wonderful, sensational art creator. And then the same on the other side. I want to get the face of this a bit dark, where it's meeting the ground there, and I want a lot of dark there. coming down this face here. And you will see, hopefully you do, just the difference it's done having this dark on these posts. You see how the darks and the lights are helping each other out. Oh, my face is screwed up so much trying to get it. Here you go. That paint's still a bit wet there, but it doesn't matter. Okay, now I've got to put the shadow on the ground. This is the fun bit. So I might use that same brush. Now the sand colour that we had, which is down here, is it still wet? Yeah. I want to darken that up a bit. So I'm going to grab some of this, get some of that, and get a dark vibe. But we want it kind of, where are we? A bit more of the yellow ochre, a bit more of the blue. Because it's kind of a grey colour, but I just want to see, no, it can go a bit darker than that, so I want a bit more blue, a bit more yellow ochre. Don't need much. What am I mixing so much for? What am I going to paint a carb on it? Okay, we've just clocked over an hour mark. Now, we simply, is this dark enough? Let me just put a bit there and see. Well, it might just work. So what I'm going to do is put some bits of dingly dangly shadow here, not too much. Where's that colour go? There it is. And I want to get these shadows, like there, these are going to make the shape of our dune now. Now those little stumpy bushes and stuff we got there, they are also going to create shadows. So we've got, where's my paint? Is that camera on there? Yeah. We're going to create bits of shadow like this coming down from those bushes. And the trick to get divots in your sand dunes and stuff is, once we do this, I'll just show you what I mean. I don't like that line there. I'm going to try and get rid of it. Now in doing this, don't worry, like I went over my black bit there. If you do that, you just go backwards and forwards, tuning it up, okay? It's not a problem. And this stuff here is just adding, oh, that's a bit much, adding a bit of dimension and life to your work. Because that colour we got as a sand dune, we've got to get a brighter colour of that, which we've got on our palette already. That's why I sprayed it with water. What's happening on this side? Not too much, but try and get some kind of a vibe pulling across. Can I have a look at that? Yeah, it's kind of coming together. Once we get the actual okay, that'll do. Now you want to grab the white, that colour, but very, very brightly. So I'm going to grab the white and that sand colour. Where is it? Here. And we're pretty much going to make that bright. Is that brighter than what's there? No, it's got to be a bit brighter. I just tested it. Sometimes paint will look like that, but when you put it up to something else, they change colour. It's a visual thing. And that's what art is. All your art's a visual thing. Now, I'm going to go maybe, you don't want too much on your brush. I want to kind of put, very small light bits here and there. If anything, I'm going to put it on all the underneath side of all the darkness, just to see what it does. Not everywhere though, don't get carried away doing it everywhere. You don't want to give too much stuff away. Sometimes less is more. Can I have a look at that? It's kind of, yeah, some of it, that's a bit hard. Oh, goodness me. I'll have to fix that up. That's all right. That's what art's all about. You watch how I fix that up. Just looking in the monitor there. Yeah, need some more. See, this is the light hitting the high bits of the sand there. Just play with it. I'm looking in my monitor and it's really helping me get this vibe going. Now I'm simply going to grab that dark colour again on the side of my brush. Where'd it go? And we kind of did something like that. Hopefully it worked. Yeah. So let's sign this and we'll whack a frame on it and see how she looks. Okay, down here. And I want to thank my YouTube members and my patrons that support me every month. Much appreciated. It helps me get behind the camera a lot more often than what I do. Give me a comment below. Say hello. I just put my signature there and Steve, my cat, his little paw print at the end of it. There we go. Okay, let's see how that looks in a frame. Oh, where's my small frame? Where's that gone now? Over here. All right. There you go. That's not too shabby. We've got a beach sand dune footpath leading towards the ocean there, and I know you can do it. Well, that was exciting and a lot of fun. And if you like this video, you make sure you tell your friends. But if you don't like it, you tell everybody. Goodbye, good luck, and good on you.